This is Aldous Huxley, a man haunted by a vision of hell on earth. A searing social critic, Mr. Huxley, 27 years ago, wrote Brave New World, a novel that predicted that someday the entire world would live under a frightful dictatorship. Today, Mr. Huxley says that his fictional world of horror is probably just around the corner for all of us. We'll find out why in a moment.
A cultural critic by the name of Greg Tate said that hip-hop was the only avant-garde still around.
I think what is going to happen in the future is the dictators will find, as the old saying goes, that you can do everything with bayonets except sit on them. But if you want to preserve your power indefinitely, you have to get the consent of the ruled. And this they will do, partly by drugs, as I foresaw in Brave New World, partly by these new techniques of propaganda. They will do it by bypassing the sort of rational side of man and appealing to his subconscious and his deeper emotions.
Avant-garde are people or works that are experimental, radical, or unorthodox. The avant-garde push boundaries of what's accepted as the normal.
According to Laffey, there are two main objectives. The first of these is a genuine social and moral and political objective to measure the power of media technologies to affect how individuals think, feel, and act.
They will do it by bypassing the sort of rational side of man and appealing to his subconscious and his deeper emotions.
The avant-garde or advanced guard alter the normal of the cultural realm. They promote radical social reform. A Saint Simonian Olinde Rodriguez wrote an essay titled The Artist, the Scientist, and the Industrialist. In this essay, Rodriguez calls on the artist to serve as an avant-garde to the people, insisting that the power of the arts is indeed the most immediate and fastest way to social and political and economic reform. Okay, so let's get a better understanding of what's taking place here. This is a strategic person's put in front of the people, upholding a high influential position to basically place a new way of living, which is going directly against what is known as normal.
Yo, you got the juice now, man.
This is not to only include hip-hop.
According to Mr. Glenn E. Dalworth, Jr. of the Wisconsin Career Academy in Milwaukee, the media becomes a youth's predominant influence. It causes repetitive messages to be soaked up into a person's brain. Eventually, the media's recurring messages could stimulate the emotional section of the brain and could negatively change a person's behavior, causing youth to compromise or totally ignore their social and spiritual upbringing. These
men come down here from New York and from Florida to find out my reasons on rock and roll music and why I preach against it, and I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today.
For you, the headbangers of America, they spent a day with Metallica.
The new, the heavy, good heavy
Big
metal.
Thrash.
Loud, fast, heavy, you know. It's different, it's great.
Why I believe that is because I know how it feels when you sing it. I know what it does to you. And I know the evil feeling that you feel when you sing it.
If you look at the 1960s counterculture leaders, John Lennon, he said his whole philosophy was, and he quoting Aleister Crowley's axiom, do what thou wilt, was the whole Beatles philosophy, he said in his interviews before his death was do what thou willst. And they put their heroes up on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, and who did they place there? Aleister Crowley.
Having thoroughly rejected the gospel of Jesus Christ, Aleister Crowley would earn the title of the wickedest man in the world by the London newspapers. When he was a child, Crowley's own mother referred to him as the Beast. According to Crowley researcher James W. Revac, he quickly identified with the title, and for the rest of his life, he viewed himself as the Beast of the Apocalypse, the enemy of Christianity. In his shocking 10-hour documentary, Pastor Joe Schimmel exposes the role of music in furthering the New Age through the 1960s counterculture movement and reveals Aleister Crowley as the patron saint of rock musicians. Through the 20th century, the influence of this black magician and professing Satanist upon popular culture has compelled some researchers to consider him the real father of the modern New Age movement.
Wiki states that many believe avant-garde to be a hallmark for modernism. Modernism is a philosophical movement that arose from wide-scale and far-reaching transformations in Western society. Modernism also denied or rejects Enlightenment thinking and religious beliefs.
How did Adidas nurture you as a creative in this process?
They just had to support all of my crazy ideas and visions. And they were just an extremely supportive company. And I'm happy this is just only the beginning of the possibilities of what we could do together. They're an incredible tech company, a cultural company. Incredible tech company, a cultural company. And I think that I'm learning how to present these ideas in a forward way, proposition of proportions from a street sensibility. You know, if I was the 14-year-old me, I'm going to high school every day, I want to look like the guys in this show. I'd like my wife to go to the gym with like full pantyhose and a sports bra. I would like that, that's my proposition,
So the way that they get people in agreement is they initiate people without their knowledge. In other words, you are in agreement with Satan and don't know it because you thinking that it's entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this commercial is going to use subliminal advertising. That means you will never see or hear the name of the product. Oh, it'll be there on the screen all right, but the naked eye cannot detect it.
Odd topic. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, baby.